Hello, Tenno. So, I've been very excited to drop this video. It's just that, well, life is, a bit busy. So, before we start, this is a very simple guide, and it will last from 5 to 10 minutes. Everything after that is completely just, how do you call it? Examples. Essentially, what we're looking at today is how to find your main Warframe and make it the best as it can be for you, specifically, without following any metas or anything special. And, the goal is to find a warframe that you never have to switch from. The way we're going to do this is follow very simple steps that won't fail us, and we will not be overwhelmed doing this. I have all the advice you need to avoid getting overwhelmed and just scrap the idea of settling down. Now, why is this video such a big deal? Well, there's this trap that everybody falls into. Pros, noobs, everybody, and it's been here forever. Warframe sometimes cap. Warframe does not respect the player's time at all, meaning that a lot of the times it turns itself into a 9-to-5 job, forcing you to use a specific Warframe and a specific loadout to do something efficiently enough that you didn't want to do in the first place. And what we're trying to do is at least avoid half of that, which means you might be doing the mission that you don't want to do, but you'll be doing it with the weapons you love and like and Warframes. So let's go into the guide. So, before we get into the step one, I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe. And also, there's a Discord link down below if you want to interact with the community, including me. The only problem would be time zone. So if I'm not responding, it's because I'm dead, like asleep or something, probably. So, let's go into step one. Step one is going to be going purely for looks and the feeling of playing the Warframe. So we're going after how much we like the abilities and the skins of our Warframes. So we're looking at what Warframe has the best skins, which skins do we like the most, what attracts us the most, basically, like what style are we going after. Because you might like a Volt, like I do, but you want to go after a second different theme, so you want to pick out a different skin. So this is like an Evangelion Volt. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a theme and the feeling of a Warframe. That's what we're going after in step one. Step two is equally as simple. We're going to pick a maximum from 2 to 3 Warframes we want to decide from, like, really choose one. So if Wall didn't exist, I would be maining Nyx. The reason why I want to main her is because she's an amazing Warframe. Even though she's not really popular today in terms of damage dealing and overall just nuking, she is hyper-focused on crowd control, and that's why she's one of the least used Warframes. But the reason why I would go after her if Volt wasn't an option is because of how her abilities feel and how she looks. Secondly, one thing that I love is how our abilities act against enemies and how I can use them in a skillful way. So basically, we're also taking a look at the skill ceiling in a Warframe. And the way we do that is how much do we need to position our abilities? Where do they need to be? How are we going to do that? So now this might sound a little, fast and a little, overwhelming, but when you go and do this yourself, you will see how easy it is and how simple it is. As a matter of fact, you might as well open up Warframe right now and do this with me. So we've picked out, well, if you picked out Warframes yourself, I don't want to make you speedrun. So after we've picked the Warframe that we need, we're gonna ask. Well, this is step 3, by the way. So pick candidates, take a look at them in depth on how they feel and how much you like them. And if you're having trouble with picking between 2 Warframes, grab a coin in your hand, toss it, flip it, and instead of seeing, put one on heads and tails. And when it lands, instead of seeing which one the coin chose, try and see which one were you hoping for while that coin wasn't still in the air. That's a pretty old technique. It's pretty cool. Step 3 is also pretty simple. I'm not sure why I keep saying that again. Essentially, you're going to ask 2 questions. Can I take this Warframe solo in a survival mission for a longer period? And then the second question you're going to ask is, can I take this Warframe long-term into a defense mission? We're asking 2 very critical questions here. One of them is this Warframe fun to play in a survival mission where it's basically brain dead sometimes? Is this Warframe fun, and can she be just, stress-free, or will she suffice on how I want to play? That's step 1. Step 2, when we're asking a defense question, is basically what we're trying to ask is, Do I need to constantly run away? And am I confident enough in this Warframe so that I can keep protecting the payload while also killing the enemies? This question sounds like you're asking if your Warframe is competent enough. The reality of it is every single Warframe has a certain degree of damage dealing and crowd control. What that means is, do you really feel confident and do you really feel like going through the trouble of using her abilities and positioning them and moving around? Do you feel like that's something you like doing with her or him? Or do you switch to the next Warframe you wanted to pick? Essentially, we're just trying to see if her playstyle, what she brings to us, is something we like and is something we want to repeat doing every now and then, or is it a playstyle we like? It's an amazing question, and it really shows how motivated you are to use those abilities to your advantage. Great questions. So that's step number 3. Now that we gone through all 3 steps, we're going through a guide on how to go about modding your Warframe for survivability and simple things like that. Now I've pretty much removed every single mod here so that we have a clear space. And this is where we're going to go and set the foundations on what we want to do. Let's remove these as well. Cool. So we need a certain degree of survivability in our Warframe. My go-to is usually health and armor. Most people like to use this combination of rolling guard and shield gating. That's a great way to play, but one thing that I have to recommend to you is if you really want to enjoy a Warframe, build it the way you find it to be comfortable and, proper to play. The feeling, again, we're going after feelings here. It sounds silly, but again, it's a game. We're trying to enjoy ourselves here. Come on. So instead of looking constantly for opinions or looking for the meta or trying to do something really specific, try to see if you can find your own way, and if not, try to see if you can find a satisfying way of playing. So let's see how we can do that. Step 1 is avoid other people's opinions. I know it's a really catchy thing to do and like ask other people for advice, but a lot of the times you will have people who completely just don't like what you want to do. A lot of people hate how I play Volt. A lot of people say the Volt is useless, and there's a completely different group of people who love Volt, think he's the best Warframe in the game. So don't focus on the public's opinion, broadly put. So my approach to how I would mod my Warframe is usually really expensive, so you might not want to, focus on what I'm doing here. What I want to see is a high health and high armor, because I like being tanky and confident when I'm dropping my abilities. If I can find that mod, give me a second. What the hell? I just removed it. So health conversion is an insanely powerful mod. But it does rely on you constantly picking up energy orbs. Luckily, that's what's going to be happening a lot of the times. So let's throw in Grace as well. Now, this is what I would do here. Basically, since we're modding for health and armor, we need to understand how armor works as well. This is very important for everybody to know. So let's switch to it. The reason why we're going after modding for health and armor is because we need to be capable of surviving while also modding for our abilities. For we're trying to save up on health and armor mods while also having plenty of space for range, strength, and efficiency. So let's go onto this really useful site, which if you Google armor calculator, you will be thrown on here. Nyx has 135 armor by default. If we throw that in here and we see how much damage reduction we have, 31. So that's really cool, but there's a secret that a lot of people don't know about. It's not really a secret, it's just a background process that you need to be aware of. Health conversion, when maxed out, gives us 1350 armor. That puts us at a mighty 83% damage reduction. Really amazing mod. But if we throw on something like Umbral Fiber, we barely even gain a percent, as you can see. Very odd. I mean, we've gained over 100 armor. Well, no, like 50 armor or something, I'm not sure. But overall, it should be a lot stronger. The reason why this is here is because it's scaling up against you having too much armor. So if we remove health conversion and then add Umbral Fiber, you can see it adds a lot more juice, a lot more, like 17%. So basically throwing on all the health mods in the world isn't, or all armor mods in the world isn't really all too useful. This is a great place to really calculate that and see what you're getting out of your build. So now that we've gained, what I'm trying to do is save you from Arcane Grace and Guardian build when you already have this. Essentially, Umbral Guardian, damn. Arcane Guardian is great for when you don't have health conversion running. Basically, that's it. But yeah, it would put you at really high, like 77%. So if you don't want to use health conversion, you can just use Arcane Guardian and free up a whole slot. How the fuck did I do all of that? Anyways. So that's what you're focusing on. You need to throw on something like survivability on your Warframe. Next, you want to also focus on these two, which is usually very flexible. So I will throw on something like, let's see, combo. So since I'm using Tenno mods, this will put me at a strong ×2 combo multiplier all the time, meaning that instead of it being 0 all the time, it's always going to be 2, or 3 if you already have a heavy attack build. That's my main one, or I would throw on something like Steel Charge, which is just fine. After that, I will throw on Prime Sure-Footed because I don't play Warframe without it. It's like a knockdown sleeping on the ground simulator. And that's what I would do for the, convenience, high survivability or durability, and then also not being knocked down, because this is what usually gets you killed, like being knocked down. Next, what I would do is, if I want more health, I would throw on more health shards. And the only reason why I would do that is because I want to see high health, and it really benefits for Arcane Guardian. Again, this is a very specific way of playing. I'm not really inspiring you to play like this, although you can. Or it's not the recommended way, but again, we're not going up against, or we're not going for recommended things. So now we throw on how we want to survive. Now we're focusing on our abilities and what we're gonna do. So, like I said, we need a way to actually kill enemies and also defend our targets. Luckily, this Warframe is a crowd control Warframe, so she's gonna do it really easily. Now, that's for the durability part, but there's a much more important thing that we're gonna do. So let's take a look at my main Volt and learn from him. Since I'm a solo player and I always do my missions, all of them solo, and I always have, let's take a look at this very selfish solo build that a lot of people hate. No problem though. The reason why we have low efficiency is because all of our abilities are duration based, meaning that we have higher duration and we don't have to spam our abilities. And since our efficiency is low, we can easily fix that with a singular Tau Forged Amber Shard or 2 regular ones. I am running a Arcane Grace and Guardian build, meaning I need a lot of health. So like I said, I'm throwing on these two for the sweet Inaros looking health, and also for a huge benefit towards Arcane Grace. So you might be wondering why I'm not using health conversion here instead of Umbral Fiber, since he will be insanely, like, a lot more stronger. The reason is I already have Arcane Guardian, so it's not that big of a deal. And secondly, like I said, I would throw on Umbral Formas on my Warframes that I love. So let's take a look. We have adaptation to lower the individual damage of elementals. We have this setup here for surviving, and we have the following setup that we use for killing enemies. My third ability is used to shield everything and make everything invincible. Although there's this bug where sometimes when you carry the shield, bullets go through. I'm not sure if that's a nerf or was it intentional or not. I don't know, it needs to be fixed. Just like how you cannot pick up energy cakes when you're carrying it. So that's for making everything invincible. The only thing is how efficiently can I put them down in a proper place. So that's for defense missions. This is for improving everything, honestly. For defense mission, this is really useful if I need to go to one place, kill somebody, and then quickly run back and kill all the baddies. And then, what the fuck did I just say? So, the fourth ability and the first ability are damage boosters. Shocking Trooper gives it the first ability. I boost all damage that is electric based, so corrosive radiation and regular electricity. Very useful when you're trying to boost the damage of your melee weapons that don't have electrical damage. So you have viral and electricity to spread your melee influence and pretty much insta-kill a group of enemies with a singular heavy attack. That's the first ability, and for the fourth ability, where Eclipse used to be, now we have Nourish, which is really boring, and I'm gonna replace it eventually when I start playing the game again. I know. So we have Blind Rage, which reduces efficiency. We fix it with a Tau Force Shard. Range is unimportant. None of our abilities use range, and plus I can't really share them because I play solo. But if I'm playing with somebody, I would just run by them and, well, use the ability on them. So yeah, high strength and high duration, and this is the setup. You can see how specific it is and how rare it is, because everybody uses Volt for his discharge, either for crowd controlling, or you would do something very basic with Volt, like you would you would do an armor strip, and then you would do a nuke. If you cannot have enough armor stripping here, you can always use corrosive projection to even the odds and kill them. So basically, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a cooperative build. So you need to cooperate with your Warframe. You need to even the odds by making it more durable and giving it a way to survive, whether that's a rolling guard or some other way, or some other tactic. So if you didn't want to use Arcane Guardian, this is your way to go. Throw this on instead of Umbral Fiber, and then you would have something, space for a mod like, I don't know, like Fury. Not Guri. Damn. Fury. There you go. For something like this, it's great. So basically, you can always combine something, make something happen, and do it. So basically, if you're wondering how durable this Volt build is, if we summon level 200 enemies, there's this other Narmer map that gives you an extra 25. That's kind of cool. So Steel Path level 200s, and we go in here. Ignore the invisibility from my shade. You can see that if I don't move at all, they have a really easy shot to kill me. And if I move, it's a lot easier. So, of course, I'm not going to be standing in one place and letting them kill me. I'm going to be killing the map. And destroying the enemy. So even when I'm being careless and letting the enemy get really close to killing me, I'm still capable of surviving. Now, this isn't a build that's really built for brain dead level 1000 or 2000 enemies. No, it's mainly like it's really durable. But keep in mind that at a certain point in a survival mission, you will be getting insta-kill by these enemies because their damage is insane. So you can take this build like this build in a Steel Path survival fisher mission for like 3 hours, 4 hours, but you're going to be doing a whole lot of placing a shield here and then somewhere else, and then taking care of enemies in a lot more like a stationary way. So every build has its own little unique trait, its own little unique way of playing, and it's up to you to cooperate with your frame to make it all happen. Tenno, I hope this video wasn't too long. I hope it was informative. I love interacting with all of my viewers. So comment section is open, and better yet, Discord is open. Please just use the proper channels. I mean, we all get carried away in there, and then just like a plethora of pictures and just completely off-topic things. So yeah, plenty of space for everybody to come and enjoy. Don't really, use the excuse of being shy, because there's actually quite a few members who are really shy, and everybody's just having a great time. So it's a pretty cool place for everybody. And if you want to talk to me, but if you don't want to go through all the extra hassle, comment section is open. I'm more than happy to help you, also including all the other viewers. Everybody's going to be helping you. If you just write something down and you're confused, you're going to be getting answers from players who are even more technical than me. So that's it. Of course, I would love to have you long term and have you come back every now and then. So please do subscribe. Now, Tenno, that's it for today's recording. I think I've shown everything, of course. Well, I hope I did. If I didn't, I'll have to record this all again. Right, Tenno, thank you all for tuning in. I'd love to see you for the next video, which is going to be how to have fun in Warframe. Again, another ludicrous topic. How can you fix a horrible dynamic? Yes, you can, and I'll be showing that in the next video. Peace.